Welcome to Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. I'm Ray Carnicelli, joined by Jim Applegate. We've got Episcopal and Providence, both teams coming into the game with a 6-2 record, and the opening face-off is picked up by Julio Dota. Dota controls, and he's going to be a guy that we're going to call a lot today, Jim.
Yeah, he has a good presence out there and likes the ball on his stick and really knows how to play the game.
Left-handed cradle. Early shot is wide. The attempt was made by Beard for Episcopal. Russell Beard on that attempt, backed up by Episcopal. The ball is going to be controlled behind the goal by Will Griggs. Griggs, now that's a feed to the crease. It's batted down. Episcopal comes up with it. Nice job by Trey Carter, running out of trouble. So one of the things that we're going to keep an eye out for, Jim, is time of possession. It's not a stat that's kept in lacrosse, but Episcopal is going to be expected to have the ball a lot in this game.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, due to at the face-off X is going to be a challenge every time there's a face-off, and Episcopal likes to move the ball around and likes to be aggressive when they're playing, but they're also, look for the better shot. So they'll make the extra pass to make sure that they're give up a good shot for a better shot.
Behind the goal for Episcopal, it's Tritt, right-handed cradle, pushes the goal line extended, bounces it up to Tiller, across the formation to Dota. Dota, back to Carter. One more pass, good ball movement. There's a feed to the crease, and it's going to be a loose ball picked up by the goalkeeper. Chris Elder comes up with it. He's under heavy pressure, and he's just going to send it towards the midfield, and he connects on a long pass. Providence ball. Dylan Kramer with the long pole, carries it across the midfield line, lobs a pass towards the X position. It's Carson Dunn, and it's going to go out of bounds, so a turnover for Providence. And when they get the ball across the midfield line, Jim, they've got to catch their breath and take some time off the clock. They don't want to be stuck playing too much defense today.
Yeah, I agree, but we talked to Coach Carter before the game, and he said he was going to have his defense press out a little bit, and that was prime reason why he did, because it forced the turnover.
And then back the other way, the ball comes into the Episcopal offensive end, and it's immediately turned over. Blake Pierce with the long pole, the defender, lobs a pass across the midfield line, and it's the very dangerous Thomas Slagle. We're going to call his name a lot too. He's a long pole LSM midi, but likes to stay in on offense as well.
Yeah, he has a heck of a shot. We saw him score multiple goals last year at the Rivalry on the River, and the kid knows how to play offense. He knows how to play the game.
Jack Schurer back behind the cage to Jablowski, and they sail it over his head, and it's a turnover.
When you get in that kind of pressure, you got to move your feet a little bit more. You got to make sure you're going in and out and getting your hands free. And that was just a timely check and forced the pass out of bounds.
Really like this goalie, Jackson Halsey. He's 20 yards in front of his goal right now, attempting to clear. And breaking free across the midfield line, Beard into the offensive end. Beard's got a little bit of room, and he's going to push the early offense, feeding down low. That's a shot off the post. Good attempt by Will Riggs, and it's going to be a race to the sideline where the ball went out of bounds. Good hustle as the ball is awarded to the Stallions of Providence. Dylan Kramer, back to the goalie Chris Elder behind his cage, over to the near side to Blake Pierce. So Episcopal on their ride right now is up towards the midfield line. Not a lot of pressure on that ride.
No, they're both teams dropping back into like a 3-3 deep zone.
And running right into trouble and turning the ball over is Blake Pierce, but they're going to call a loose ball push against Episcopal, so the ball is going to stay with Providence. If you have possession and you get pushed, then it's a 30-second penalty, but if there's a loose ball, it's just possession. Nice takeaway check. Ball is put on the ground by J.P. Varela. We're going to call his name a lot. He's one of the best defenders in North Florida. Trouble clearing, unsettled situation. It's still 0-0. 8:30 to go in the first quarter, and we've got a flag down. Did not see the flag. It's a delayed penalty call. So a free possession for Providence. Ball is going to be worked around to the near side to Henley. Henley over to Carson Dunn. Carson Dunn, wing dodge. Slide comes. He runs into a double team, attempts a shot. It's wide, racing towards the sideline. So we'll have a dead ball, and the referees will sort out this penalty.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an illegal body check there. Episcopal defenders, they had 2 of them on 1 on the Providence, and it was a little bit of a late hit after he threw the ball.
So this is Game 3 of Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Yesterday saw Creekside girls defeat the Bolles School, and then the nightcap, Nice over St. Augustine. Following this game, we will have Bartram Trail versus Fleming Island. So a lot of action here at Rivalry on the River. We're at the Bolles School. Now we see Thomas Slagle with the long pole staying in on the extra man and a turnover.
You know, once again, you know, Coach Carter stretching his defense, putting a lot of pressure on that offense. And,
even on man up.
Even on man up, and you still got to move your feet. You got to stay a little bit wider, you know, when you're moving the ball around till you get into your offense.
So a man down clear for Episcopal, meaning everybody's covered. Somebody's got to beat their man to attempt this clear, and that's a ball that's batted down. And an opportunity for Providence early in the game. Unsettled situation, feed to the middle. Check comes in, and the ball is out of bounds. Garrett Daniel for Episcopal, the close defender. Perfectly timed check as the pass was coming. An averted disaster. So, Jim, I'm really surprised here with 7.5 minutes to go. There hasn't been a goal yet.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's been a lot of quality shots, but kids are hitting posts, and you know, that sometimes that happens. You're trying to feel each other out, and it takes a little time to get into the flow of the game.
Expect that penalty to release pretty soon. It was a 30-second penalty. I'm surprised he's still in there. Oh, it was an illegal body check, 1 minute. Okay, so still a man down possession. Episcopal man down offense, and Providence isn't really pushing the issue. They're content with just letting this penalty run out as Julio Doda, nice little swim move. He's going to wait for that penalty to release.
And it did.
It did. So back to even strength. Mark Tiller. Tiller controls back to Doda. Doda on the near side. Working a little 2-man game off the pick. Nicely switched by Providence, but Doda gets free, shot wide. That is a good scoring opportunity for Episcopal. Doda did a nice job getting to the middle, but what do we tell the kids, Coach? Hit the cage!
Yeah, sometimes you try to be a little bit too perfect on your shots, and that was the case. He was trying to pick the lower corner.
Nifty play by Lee Tritt to kick it to himself. Back out top to Max Tiller. Now here's an opportunity for Episcopal, and the ball is saved. Shot on cage. Elder makes the save. Fought that one off. Long overpass as Providence comes into the offensive end. They need to work it around and just hold possession, or they will be stuck playing a lot of defense today. And really a good idea for that timeout for Coach Thies right there. They haven't had a lot of possession. It's been a little bit of a track meet so far. So you get the ball, 6:08, 0-0 is our score. Surprisingly,
on the field.
Call the timeout and catch a breath. We're going to go ahead and take a short break and come back
annual
with the action.
Rivalry on the
Here it's
River,
Rivalry on the
presented
River
by
by
Covenant Roofing. We want to thank all of our partners.
We're back at the Bolles School for Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. I am Ray Carnicelli, joined by Jim Applegate. Follow me on Twitter at Lax904. 0-0 is our score. It's boys varsity lacrosse. 6:03 remaining in the first quarter. Now there's a feed to the crease. Dangerous cut, but it goes wide. Jacob Henley was open, Jim.
Yeah, he was. I like the play coming out of the timeout, and they just didn't execute, but the player was wide open cutting to the crease.
So at this point, it's about getting shots on cage. Just not enough shots on cage, but Lee Tritt, he's got time, he's got space. Feed down low. Couldn't handle it. That was Carter, the freshman on the crease. Had an opportunity, and under pressure, the goalie, Chris Elder.
You just kind of feel at some point Episcopal is going to start taking advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, they're getting to really good shooting spaces. And ball is turned over, and Doda breaks free, and he's on the ground, and there's going to be a tripping call. So an extra man opportunity coming up for the Episcopal Eagles.
Yeah, and as they often do, they call they call a push with possession instead of the trip, so it's going to be a 30-second penalty.
What do you think about that?
You know what, they do it a lot when it's in the middle of the field, and it really was a kind of a, you know, it's an aggressive play, and both players are tight with each other.
So you want to punish him, but not punish him too harshly, is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think everyone's okay with that, both sides.
So I'm the only one who has a problem with it. There's Carter, controls for Episcopal, looking for Doda on the backdoor sneak. The penalty looks to still be intact. It's Providence was 2 men down there for a minute, a little substitution area. They had a man come on late, but now we're back at a 6-on-5. Man advantage for Episcopal.
Yeah, and they started out with a 1-4-1 and they morphed into a 1-3-2 and had a quality look on cage.
There's Carter. He's going to take one shot and a save. What a save by Chris Elder. Good look from Carter, but Elder turns it aside. Now attempting to clear, long clearing pass. That's Thomas Slagle into the offensive end, the long pull. Slow break. Now he's got a man down low. Low angle shot off the post. It's going to be a race towards the end line. They're going to award it to Providence. That was close.
Yeah, it was. And that's one of those ones where you want the attackman to get to the front of the cage, and he ran behind and he took his angle away.
So Providence hanging tough here. 0-0, shockingly scoreless ball game. A lot of possession for Episcopal, and that's a turnover. Loose ball in the Providence defensive end.
It's going to be an over and back.
So an over and back call will award the ball back to Episcopal. They're trying to get the quick restart. Lee Tritt controls. Back to Doda. Tritt comes back on the near side. The bench side to Beard. Russell Beard. Back out top to Max Tiller. Over to Doda. Trying to set up that 2-man game. Working off the pick. Well defended. A little bit of a hold there, and they're going to call it. Doda had a stick wrapped around his neck. Attempts to pass to the crease. It gets through, goes out of bounds. Extra man opportunity once again for Episcopal. 30-second holding call.
Yeah, and Doda wanted a, an illegal body check because the stick got wedged underneath his throat. A little corkscrew on that one, and I can't blame with that.
So I think right now, if I'm Episcopal, I just want to get a shot from the front on the goalie.
Yeah,
you need to test them a little bit more.
Yeah, at some point you don't have to be that perfect when you shoot. You don't have to hit the corners. We say all the time, see net, hit net, and just shoot at that big area of the net that you see. And if you throw it with velocity, a lot of times good things happen.
If a goalie makes 50% of the saves, he's doing his job. So it just goes to show the more shots on cage, the better chance you have. Now, we've seen Chris Elder make a couple of saves early, but you got to test them. Aim small, shoot small. There's Doda on the far side. Back up top to Tritt, to Doda. Across the formation to Will Riggs. Pushing the goal line extended is Lee Tritt. Lefty feeds out top. Doda couldn't handle it.
That was Coach Kerwick's main play. It went from a 3-3 into a 1-4-1.
Out top is Max Tiller. Over to Will Riggs. Backdoor sneak controlled by Tritt. Low angle shot, and he sails it over the cage. Got to get him on cage.
Yeah, it's I don't know. You kind of sit there and say, you know what, they're quality shots, guys. Just get them on cage. Make the goalie make 20 saves. Don't give him the easy out.
There's Tritt. He gets to the front, wraparound shot and a score. Goal by Lee Tritt, 1-on-1. He did it himself. 3:14 to go. And the seal has been cracked on those goals.
That goal by
he really took advantage
number 2.
He sailed the ball over the cage and then got the ball out of bounds and beat his defender. Normally you don't have the one-on-one drive to the cage on an EMO, but he saw that there was a clear sailing in front of the cage, and he went for it.
Defender broke his stick behind the cage. Jim, I think we've talked about it. I've seen more broken shafts this year. I remember playing up in the snow when those titanium sticks come out and they crack, but this season there's been so many broken sticks.
Yeah, I think I think the manufacturers are making them that way, a little profitable.
Nice and lightweight material.
Yeah. But in reality, a lot of kids do lacrosse check holds now, and that forces a lot of pressure on those shafts.
Face off won by number 19 Jack Hooper. Into the offensive end comes the goal scorer Lee Tritt. Bounces it to the far side to Trey Carter. Trey Carter pushing that left goal line extended. Rolls back, gets to the front. He's crafty for a freshman.
And I like he's dodging with his head up. He's looking for his teammates. He drew a double, but nobody slid. Nobody cut behind him.
The other nice thing, you could see that he looks like he favors his left hand, but he was fully willing to get back to his right. Here comes Doda, feed to the crease. It's Carter controls, runs into a triple team, maintains possession momentarily. Now it's on the ground. It's a scrum for the ball. Nice ground ball work picked up by Episcopal. That's Beard to the far side. Doda Looking, splits to the defense, low angle shot and a save. They're going to call a warding off, free arm.
Yeah, I couldn't see. It's from the far side, and Doda's not happy. His helmet was lifted. So.
It looked like he had two hands on his stick to me as well. But referee called it. Quick restart. Providence ball. Chris Elder, the goalie for Providence. He's going to heave it down to the other end. Overthrows it, but a chance for Providence. Failed clear.
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure why the attackman didn't come up and try to support the ball a little bit more. He saw it all the way.
For young goalies, we always tell them it's better to overthrow it than underthrow it. It lets you to get back on defense if there's an error. And by overthrowing it, Providence doesn't give up a transition opportunity. You want to make that pass, but live to fight another day, and that was a risky overpass. It looks like a battle for the ball. Jablowski almost had it, and he boots it out of bounds, so it's going to be Episcopal ball, attempting a clear with 1:37 to go in quarter number 1.
Yeah, that's almost the one where you got to tell the attackman don't pick the ball up because they were going to get a 20-second violation.
So now you see Lee Tritt playing a lot of attack, comes all the way to the defensive end, confident in his stick handling and ability to do that, what we call a punt return clear, just run from one end to the other. And here comes Tritt under heavy pressure, gets to his right hand, shot and another save. One thing about the goalie, Chris Elder, he's standing tall. He is just taking up a lot of space. There's Tritt, feed to the backside, tried to quick stick it, did Carter, but goes out of bounds. It's going to be a shot. No, they're going to say he stepped in the crease after the quick stick.
Yeah, he just missed the ball. Carter was wide open, and again, just another blown opportunity.
That save by Elder was a great scoring chance for Episcopal. We're approaching the 1 minute mark of quarter number 1. Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Loose ball picked up by Episcopal. Now they've got a chance into the offensive end. There's Tritt. Lee Tritt, left-handed shot and score. Beat the goalie on the near side. Switched back to his left hand. Didn't have a great angle, but we saw the goalie, Chris Elder, kind of come off that near side pipe, and Lee Tritt took advantage of it.
Yeah, Tritt caught the ball on the wing, and I think the defender thought he was going to try to get underneath, but Tritt did a really good job switching hands, putting it into his left hand and beating the goalie on the inside pipe. I
got to tell you right now, Tritt, I haven't seen him play a lot, but he is composed with the ball in his stick, and it takes something to show that composure. You see even juniors and seniors sometimes that they get a little nervous when they're under pressure, but he wants the ball. He's an attackman who goes back and clears it.
Getting off from the senior that you can, and again, Episcopal forces Providence wide, and the ball is thrown out of bounds.
So after that face-off win, Providence turns it over. 2-0 is our score. Episcopal on top of Providence. We're at 30 seconds, so another good scoring chance here in late time for Episcopal as they race into the offensive end. That's John Pagic. Back behind the cage to Will Riggs. Riggs controls at X, 15 seconds. Got to get something going here quickly. There's Doda. He's the guy you want. Doda, nice little two-man game. Lee Tritt feeds down low, shot just wide. Another great scoring opportunity, but Will Riggs can't hit the target. 2 seconds left. Only chance here is a quick feed to the crease. Waiting for the whistle. Feed to the crease. It's deflected and turned away. Lots of good scoring opportunities for Episcopal, but only 2 goals to show for it.
And that's the end of the first quarter with your score, Episcopal 2.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a short break. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Our score is Episcopal 2,
whether it's residential,
Providence
commercial,
0.
repairs, or
Welcome back to the Bolles School. It's
time for
Rivalry on the
quarter
River,
number 2
presented by
here
Covenant
at
Roofing. Ray
Rivalry on
Carnicelli
the
and Jim
River.
Applegate on the call. Start of quarter number 2 with Episcopal on top of Providence by a score of 2-0. It's boys varsity lacrosse. Face-off win controlled by Episcopal. Episcopal, Lee Tritt, called his name a lot today.
It's nice to have an experienced leader, a senior on the field like Tritt, and he just takes control over there in command and settles everyone down.
Very deliberate pace of play for Episcopal right now after they win that face-off. Little bounce pass, unforced error, trickles out of bounds. Beard can't control it, and very unfortunate for Episcopal. Just gotta be able to pass and catch.
Yeah, Dota doesn't usually make mistakes like that, but coming out of the quarter and just getting back into the flow of the game, he just made a mistake.
Gotta move your feet. Here comes Stewart DePerna. Shot and a save. Jackson Halsey making it look easy.
They're going to call interference after the shot, so the ball's going to go back to Providence.
Starting off with the ball is Carson Dunn. Right-handed cradle. He's behind the cage, working through that X position over to Jablowski. Back up top to Jacob Henley. Can't handle it. Nice little two-man ground ball work, so Providence is able to control it. That's Jack Schur, forcing him back to his left. Nice swim move, gets back to his right hand. Got the defense spinning. Now he just tucks his head and runs into traffic. Loses the ball, and Jackson Halsey comes up with it.
Yeah, the pressure defense by Episcopal right now is really causing havoc on the Providence offense.
There's Dota coming all the way back to retrieve that ball. Unsettled situation. He's got help to his left, but he's going to step down, shoot the score! Julio Dota. Get it on cage. It's got a good chance of going in on any goalie.
Well, that's one way to make up for your throw the ball out of bounds, and Dota just took his time, walked down
goal by
12 yards.
Episcopal, number 1, Julio Dota.
So Dota, taking care of business himself, comes back and retrieves the ball on the defensive end of the field, jogs up from about 13, 12 yards out, steps into one, and gives Episcopal a 3-0 lead. He's got the ability to dominate a game.
Yeah, he does. We've seen him last year actually do just that, and sometimes you don't want to do it all, but sometimes you got to take the ball.
Nice face-off win by Jack Hooper, trying to get the early offense over to Lee Tritt. Can't handle the pass to the point man. But you're right, Jim. Dota, he is dynamic. Loose ball off of this face-off. Nobody wants it. Thomas Slagle's usually going to come up with a loose ball and got a flag down. It's going to be against Providence for an offsides. Or is it against Episcopal?
I think they called it against Episcopal, which is confusing because Slagle had control of the ball.
Yeah. Regardless of the what and the why, it's going to be a man-up opportunity for Providence and a chance for them to get on the scoreboard. The simplistic way to describe man up is you just have to find the uncovered guy in a shooting position. And the defense for Episcopal is going to try to clog those passing lanes, and you want to leave the furthest, least threatening guy open. Easier said than done.
Yeah, and again, Episcopal's being real aggressive, so you just have to start your offense wider, and then after you move the ball 3 or 4 times, then you step in and start playing the real man up.
There's a feed to the crease. Initially controlled, but good defensive pressure. Picked back up by Providence. So Providence, decent ball movement. They just try to skip a pass, and instead of making the easy pass, they tried to make the difficult pass, and it goes out of bounds. So wasted opportunity on that power play. Episcopal ball attempting to clear. Don't have a number 14 on my roster. But number 14, the mystery man, has the ball. Face dodge across the midfield line. Wherever he is, he looks pretty confident in carrying that stick. Now he's racing into the offensive end. Nice back pass to Lee Tritt. Bounces it back out to Dota. Back inside to Tiller. Nice ball movement. 14 stays on. Now he's going to jog back off. Fully confident staying down there on offense.
He wanted that give and go goal, but he didn't get it this time.
Russell Beard. Back to Dota. So Dota's got this short stick matchup. Now he beats his man. Low angle shot. Hits the goalie. Chris Elder with another save. Now there's a tussle for the ball. Bodies flying. Lee Tritt comes back up with it, calling his name a lot. Back to Will Riggs. Feed, time, space, shot, and he yanks it wide. That was Russell Beard on the attempt. Looked like the ball got hung up in his stick a little bit.
Yeah, too much whip in those sticks.
Lee Tritt with the ball behind the cage, marked by Blake Pierce. Gets to the goal line extended. Looking, bounces it up high. Dota climbs the ladder to go pick that one up. Back to Russell Beard, left-handed sweep. He's got time, he's got space, shot wide.
Looked like that deflected off a defender in the middle and never made it on cage.
Nice move by Tiller and Beard to get to those shooting spots. There's Beard, back to Dota, left-handed cradle, down that left alley, looking to penetrate, rolls through the double team, gets to the front, shot, score! Julio Dota with the goal. One-man wrecking crew finds the spot, takes the shot, and makes the goal.
Yeah, it was a really nice dodge from the wing. He got to the middle, and he kind of re-dodged. He kind of stopped in the middle and re-dodged, and caught the defender off guard. I'm not really sure why they're not putting Slagle on Dota, but you know, at some point, you know, Coach Thies is going to have to go ahead and get that matchup.
Are they going to wait till he gets his third, fourth, fifth, sixth goal? Because he is fully capable.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, he's got Slagle on Tritt, which is not a bad option either. But you know, to me, Dota starts the ball and he starts the offense, and that's where I want to stop.
Nice face-off win initially for Dylan Kramer for Providence. Runs into a little trouble on the sideline and just has to fling the ball back, and they're going to call him out of bounds. So failure to get it in on offense is River Penland racing towards the midfield line. He's across the midfield line. Encounters some pressure. Forced turnover. Caused turnover back the other way as Garrett Daniel into the middle of the field. Runs through two players. It's Will Griggs. We see both teams right now, Jim, running into bad spots, whether it's the sideline or to double teams.
Yeah, and it's, again, I think it's just a little bit of the pace of play. Maybe some of it's coming off of, you know, spring break, but pretty sloppy right now.
And Providence was ready to throw a sloppy pass out of bounds, but it went off an Episcopal stick, so it's going to be awarded back to Providence. Our score is 4-0. The Eagles on top. We talk about rivalry on the river. These two schools are rivals, and Episcopal's had the better of it here in the first half, but nice job by Providence keeping it from getting out of hand. The goalie, Elders, made a few saves and just got to try to get one past Jackson Halsey. Looking to feed that crease. Good spacing and ball movement, but they can't connect on the pass. Unsettled situation right now. This is where the games are won and lost. Who's going to come up with that ground ball?
Push against Episcopal.
.6:14 to go in quarter number 2. Providence ball. Forrestel. Feed to the crease, was down low. Ball is behind the cage, and Jackson Halsey, the goalie, is going to go off to the races here. He wants a little bit of action, little jump shot. Ball is on the ground once again. And that's a ground ball picked up. Here comes Episcopal. Oh, they can't make that pass.
At some point, Ray, one of the coaches have to call timeout and settle this thing down because the ball's just going side to side.
Yeah, it's a little bit of field hockey right now. When you see these clearing opportunities and the team struggling, you want to have your middies come back and get the ball. Get the stick handlers back, and Russell Beard connects on that pass from Halsey. Back over to Lee Tritt. At this point, I just want to work it around once. Dota penetrating, gets his hands free, shot and a score. Dota ran through 3 guys. Great job protecting the stick and low and away. Finds the back of the net, and Julio Dota once again tallies a goal for Episcopal.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of fitting, all the helter-skelter that we saw, and you're saying spin the ball around, and Dota's like, no, I'm going to the cage. I'm going to dodge past 3 guys and score a goal.
He is dynamic, and right when I start telling everyone to work it around, and Dota says, how about I just go to the goal?
Everybody out here is tired except for me, so.
Face-off win. Nice job by Episcopal to earn the ball back. That's Jack Hooper. So Jim, 5-0 right now. Episcopal with the lead, with the ball. What are you telling the team in white, Episcopal, right now?
You know, again, I was going to say just work the ball around, but they're not going to do that.
The goal is good.
Yeah.
Did you get a number on that?
It was number 10. It was
that
Russell
goal by
Beard.
Episcopal's number 10, Russell Beard.
Glad the stadium announcer agreed with me. So, you know, again, we were talking about what do you do, and they got the ball to Russell Beard. The defender took a bad approach angle, and he got face dodge, and next thing you know, he's on one-on-one with the goalie for the goal.
So the penalty will be assessed. It'll be a man-up face-off for Episcopal.
It looks like it was an illegal body check against Beard after he scored.
So 6-0 is our score, 4:41. Could you imagine a better day for lacrosse? Sunny and breezy, not too hot.
It is perfect, and again, what a great opportunity for people to come out and see this, you know, this weekend and see these kids play and compete, both from the girls and the boys. And again, I mentioned it last night. If you love lacrosse, this is your weekend.
And if you don't know lacrosse, it's a good opportunity to come out and just see why it's booming in North Florida. Lax and Jax has never been better. Here comes Dota. Dipping and doing, getting the front shot wide. He wants that one back.
Yeah, he does.
And that's going to be a flag down, so it looks like might have a 2-man-up opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be a slash against Dota.
Against Dota?
I mean, you know, against him.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right, he's the one who got slashed.
I didn't see the number that slashed him, but yeah, he got hit. He got hit on the hip as he was dodging through the defense.
That was Victor Orozco, who got a little wild with his stick. Hit Dota. So 2 men. This is 6-on-4. The moral of the story is somebody's going to be open. Get a good shot on cage.
And Episcopal went into a 1-4-1.
Time, space, shot wide. That was a really nice man-up play.
Yeah,
got the defense moving, went back against the grain, and just got to hit the target. That was Dota. Back into play comes Russell Beard. Not even sure you need to run a play on 6-on-4, though. You just got to get into the shooting spaces. Make yourself a threat. Make yourself be guarded. They're content on running a rotation here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like to go into a 1-3-2, you know, one being behind, and just push a pipe and see what you can get.
There he pushed the pipe and hit it off the pipe.
Right.
But you're right. At some point they have to cover you, and if they don't, you shoot. If they do, somebody's open.
Well, especially if they have to guard the guy on the crease, then they're in a 3-man rotation guarding 5 on the outside. If you move the ball fast enough, you're going to get an open shot.
So the first penalty is released, so it's still 5-on-4. You need to recognize it. Not sure what that call is, but they're turning the ball the other way. Did you see what it was, Jim?
No, I didn't see it.
A little bit of a bull dodge. Got the Providence faithful fired up.
Oh, they got Slagle with a short stick, that's why.
There's Slagle. He's just wild cradle, and going to be a timeout called by Providence, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. With 3:22 to go in quarter number 2, our score is Episcopal 6, Providence 0.
There's a timeout on the field.
We are back at the Bolles School. Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Ray Carnicelli and Jim Applegate on the call. Providence ball. Jack Schur, tightly covered, rolls back away from pressure. Schur bounces it back out top to Carson Dunn.
We need to figure out who number 14 is for Episcopal.
Yeah, he's good.
He's athletic, he's pressing out on the ball.
Just that pressure, Episcopal pushing out, making Providence uncomfortable, and they throw it away.
you know, when you get that kind of pressure, you're actually, when you're off ball, you actually have to run to the ball to make those passes shorter because your teammate is getting pressured, and you got to, you know, you just got to make the game easier for
They're just
for
drifting
teammates.
away a little bit.
Yeah, it's just too far of a pass to make under pressure.
Especially on the run, you're right. Both players on the run in different directions makes it challenging, but ground ball nicely picked up by Jablowski. Back on the far side. Rolling back to the front. Initial move, shot and a save, and what a save it is by Jackson Halsey. Long outlet pass, he throws a rope upfield, and it's controlled by Garrett Daniel. Daniel wants to push the issue. Time, space, shot and a score. It's a pole goal from 10 yards out. The goal is by number 24, Garrett Daniel.
Goal by Episcopal.
That's a nice play. You know, I actually was going to give kudos to Orozco, from Providence, because he really made a nice play, but Halsey came up with the save and made him pay for it.
He threw a rope too. Just the fact that Garrett Daniel was able to corral that, because it was a dart.
Yeah, it was, and you know, these goals, these balls, you know, once they get on the offensive side, man, their eyes open wide, and they want to take that shot every single time. Impressed
with Garrett Daniel on both ends of the field right now, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Eagles. You know, Halsey, he hasn't been called on to do a lot in goal for Episcopal, and it's a testament to be able to stay focused. You know, as a former goalie, sometimes you can get lulled to sleep if you're not getting a lot of action, but he was called and he answered. Jackson Soud up to the midfield to Jablowski. Working through the substitutions for the Providence Stallions. Heavy pressure coming in. Nice job by Jablowski to beat his man. Now a little hop step, looking to the feed, and he decides to shoot, and there's a flag down, so we get to see the Providence extra man.
Looks like we have a slash.
So that's going to be a 1-minute personal foul. Always like to explain, in basketball, technical foul is usually the bad one. In lacrosse, the technical foul is the minor, 30-second, and the personal foul is the 1 minute, more of a major penalty.
1 minute plus.
And here is Providence. We're seeing Episcopal, you know, we talked about pressing out, and that's a nice skip pass. Throwing some confident passes, pretty long passes for man up.
They are, but they had the ball rotating one way, and they threw it back right into the defense. I'm not really sure what happened there.
So Jack Schur tries to control him. Way out on him is Varela, forcing the turnover, so that pressure defense from Episcopal makes Providence pay. So it's going to be a man-down clearing opportunity, and typically you want everybody covering somebody, but the goalie, Jackson Halsey's open, and he throws a 40-yard pass on a rope, connected by Russell Beard. Now here comes Russell Beard. See if they decide to kill this penalty or press the issue. We're approaching the 1 minute mark of the first half. Russell Beard. Checks are raining down from Dylan Kramer.
Yeah, Providence did a good job of getting back in the hole. Kramer really hustled back to stop the fast break.
Still only 5 offensive players. Now here's the release. So with 48 seconds left, the teams are at even strength. Here comes Dota. Feed to the backside, shot and a score! Dota to Tritt. Thing of beauty. Perfect pass, perfect finish.
You know, how many times have we seen that today?
Number 2,
Dota, Tritt, you know, the
Tritt.
seniors, you know, are doing a lot of damage here for Episcopal, and I know they have a lot of players out there, but you talk about you know, who's contributing right now. It's the seniors. They're really stepping up.
And Dota draws so much attention. If you don't put 2 guys on him, if you don't slide to him early, he's going to find a way to get into a shooting spot. That time the pressure came, and what does he do? Plays with his head up and throws a perfect pass, and I really like Lee Tritt. This is, in my mind, his coming out party. I'm sure he's been doing it. I just haven't seen him do it a lot, personally.
Yeah, I agree. He's getting to all the right spaces, and he's you know, if you keep an eye off him for a second, he's going to, you know, get a quality shot off.
I really like the confidence he plays with. He looks like he's having fun out there.
He does.
And that's a face-off win. Here comes Carter. Carter down the right, shot and a score. Thought I heard a whistle.
He did.
Called a timeout.
Oh, Dad.
Dad called a timeout. So Trey Carter is the freshman son of head coach Glenn Carter, and he was locked and loaded mid-shot, and Dad calls the timeout.
That's going to be a great conversation.
You got a timeout on
You heard a little
field.
chuckle from the crowd who knows
Parents, are you
the
looking for an
familial
opportunity to
relations
get
there.
extra scholarship for your child for in college next year?
So with
The
27
deadline for the
seconds
high
left, we'll
school
just take a short
9-12
break.
Lane South
Great action
Construction
here at
Scholarship
Rivalry on the River,
is right around
presented
the
by
corner.
Covenant
With each
Roofing.
winner
8-0
getting
is our score.
$2,500.
Welcome back to the Bolles School. It's Rivalry on the River. 27 seconds remaining in the first half coming out of that timeout. The goal was called off because the timeout came just before the ball was released. See if they can make up for it here with 27 seconds left. Russell Beard's going to start with it. I think I find a way to get it back in Carter's stick.
Yeah, I'm sure he ran to the sideline and said, Dad, will you draw up a play for me, please? I want that goal back.
Or just let Dota race down the right alley. Oh, Carter popped on the crease. He was open there for a second. I think we're going to hear a lot from Carter in the coming years. He's confident lefty and righty. Here comes Beard. 8 seconds. Beard gets to the front. Left-handed shot. High bouncer just off the mark. 3.7 seconds to go. Tritt runs back there and says, I got it. So Tritt wants that ball. Quick restart. Tritt around the left goal line extended. Wrap around just wide as time expires. So they got another opportunity, but Tritt was just off the mark. We're going to go ahead and take a break at the half. It's Rivalry on the River presented by Covenant Roofing. Our score is Episcopal 8, Providence 0. Welcome back to Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. I am Ray Carnicelli, joined by Jim Applegate. Jim, at halftime I ran out and I had to solve the mystery of who number 14 is, because he is all over the place. I really like him. Parker Chapel is what the word is.
Not surprising, another senior, so the seniors are really contributing tonight for Episcopal.
So it's a face-off win for Episcopal, initially picked up and controlled by Jack Hooper. Hooper racing into the offensive end. Nice job by Providence to settle back on defense, preventing a fast break. Look how quickly Lee Tritt gets the ball in and out of his stick over to Dota. Nice ball movement back to Russell Beard. Bounces a pass to Dota. So they have the pole on him now, Jim. Did you go talk to Coach Thies? You talked about putting Schlegel on Dota.
I did not, but he must be listening to the broadcast.
Or maybe he just understands the game of lacrosse.
Or
Put your
that.
best defender on the biggest threat.
It's not a bad approach.
Here comes Russell Beard. He likes that left hand. Sweeps to his left. Inside the hash marks, falling down and shot wide, but Lee Tritt. I'm going to be saying Lee Tritt in my sleep tonight. I've been calling his name all night. Really like him.
Yeah, Jack Shower is playing against him, and he's just got to fade his left hand a little bit more. We haven't seen him go back right yet. So.
And there it is right there. Feeds to the backside. Couldn't control it. Riggs comes up with it, though. He was drifting a little bit. You want to get to the spot and kind of post up. Dota dishes it off to Russell Beard. He splits back to his right. He likes that left hand, though. I'd like to see Dota bounce off of that pick a little bit quicker. They're causing a double team.
Yeah, but they got the switch they wanted, because now all of a sudden the short stick's on Dota, so they're going to get him the ball and he's going to go to town.
Strategy. Here comes Dota on that short stick. Down the alley, inside the hash mark, winds up, shot, and it's deflected. Number 2 took it off the head. Joseph Newman eating it for the team. And Providence is closer to it as it went out in front of the far bench.
That was good hustle.
Nice long pass to Blake Pierce. Ups it to Schlegel. Watch Schlegel see if he cuts off ball. They can't connect on that simple pass, and Pacerno can't control it. So Garrett Daniels going to have it.
They had a nice 4-on-3, and I'm thinking at some point Schlegel's just going to go ahead and fake that pass and go shoot himself.
Boy, I'd like to see a give-go off of that, though. Yeah. Hey, Lee Tritt's down there all the way at the other end getting the ball. Running through the triple team, goes back to his right hand, racing across the midfield line. Now he's got a lane to the goal. Headmans the ball, and they can't control it. Max Tiller, a little out of position to receive that ball.
Tritt is playing 1985 lacrosse, end to end. Hey, you need a clear? Coach, I got it.
Yeah, I like the way he plays. Here comes Chris Elder, done a nice job. called upon today to jump in the cage. Episcopal pressuring. Ball is on the ground, across the midfield line. See who wants it.
Nobody wants it.
John Patrick initially comes up with it, but there's Slagle. Long pole on long pole. Slagle dumps it off to DePerna. Slagle staying on offense, drawing the long pole too. A little bit high. Want to get down in his hip there, Mr. Capra. Just lofts one. Desperation pass across. It goes out of bounds.
I don't know. If that's me, I want a penalty. A little push from behind, but...
Yeah, and he was riding up in the neck and head area too. And just coach these kids to get down in the hip when you try to turn the player. Here comes Jackson Halsey. I expect a long pass right on the mark.
It's a Tritt.
Tritt coming back across the midfield line, scoops it up. Oh, he's looking for that 2-on-1 with Doda. Splits the defense, gets to the front, left-hand shot, banks it off of Elder's head. That was a desperation save by Elder.
Sometimes you just got to get in the way, and that was one of those cases.
So Trey Carter jogs back to pick it up. San Jose Boulevard, end of the field. Back up top to Russell Beard. Here comes Doda, drawing the long pole. Back to Beard, sweeping to his left. To Doda, time, space, nice little hitch, back to the middle, shot off the mark. He had the goalie leaning the other way.
Yeah, Slagle gave him a little bit too much room, and Doda almost made him pay for it.
Backed up by Episcopal, 8:26 to go. In quarter number 3, there's Tritt, bounces it back up top. There's that left-handed sweep, shot deflected once again. These Providence defenders are taking some shots for the team. Tritt, covered by Kramer. Directing traffic. Here comes Tritt. Kramer doing a nice job of covering that right-handed top side. Doda's going to have a run. Head up. Back to Carter. Well defended by Providence. Doda looking. Back behind the cage to Beard. Over to Tritt. They had the second man on the backdoor sneak, but a little crowded. Now they're going to skip it across the formation. Loose ball. Slagle tried to bat it forward, but Doda's there to pick it up. Now having a run towards the cage is Tiller. Tiller runs into a triple team, but he finds Carter. Shot deflected. Once again, the defender took that one for the team. That was Joseph Newman.
That's the third shot the defense has eaten in a row, and you know, sometimes you got to do that when you're a defender. You got to take one for your goalie.
So what's happening there is a little bit too slow on the draw there with the shot and letting the defense close down, or just good approach angles by the defense?
Good approach angles by the defense, and when you see that, you got to try to shoot around them, or you got to hitch or do something to get around the defender and not just try to shoot through him.
Drop that stick a little bit, maybe go a little bit sidearm. Here comes Carter. Now he penetrates. That's Doda. Doda with the save by Chris Elder. Boy, Doda's getting to some great spots.
He is.
Oh, they've got numbers up front if they can push it forward. Into the offensive end. There's a shot from distance, and it's a goal. That time it was number 22, Blake Pierce. You're not going to cover me. That was a pro lacrosse 2-point shot. That was from way out.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, Pierce,
No
one picked him up, so he's decided he was going to go shoot.
Pierce.
Again, another case of good shots beat good goalies, and he just pinged the lower corner.
Yeah, but if you're Jackson Halsey, listen, I'm his goalie coach, and we talked about this last night, you just have to be ready.
Right.
Anytime you see the ball in a player's stick, be set to shoot, and I think he just didn't expect it.
No, you're right, but, you know, again, it still was a good shot. Give the kid credit.
I'm giving him credit, but listen, as a former goalie, well, I consider myself still a goalie, but as a goalie, from 15 yards out, you expect to make the save, and I think it was just a fact. You know, telling it like it is, I would go down and tell Jackson Halsey right now, great game today, be set all the time. Sorry, I'm harsh. That's why I haven't coached in 15 years. Here comes Tritt. Tritt controls, 6:37 to go, 8-1 is our score. Providence gets on the board for the first time. Must be an off-ball
interference
call. Yeah, moving screen. So anytime we see one of those whistles and we don't know what it is and it's off-ball, you can almost always assume that it's a moving pick, because you're watching the ball and it's happening off-ball.
Right, and once again, the Providence player runs into two Episcopal players.
Nice job coming up with it is Sure.
I really like Sure. I would try to get him, especially in that matchup.
He's got that short stick matchup and all the attention's being paid on the other side. There's Dunn.
I would get the ball back to him somehow.
Boy, what a check. Saw that one coming. That was Garrett Daniel. De-sticks his opponent and comes up with the ground ball. Perfectly timed and perfectly laid check. John Pagic. They've got numbers. They've got a 4-on-3 if they can spread out and recognize it. It's a 5-on-3 in the middle. Back to the near side, time, space, shot, score! Stings the corner. Will Riggs in the upper 90, finds the twine, and Episcopal is up 9-1.
Yeah, that's a case where, Providence did a good job, stopping the initial surge, and then they thought Tritt was going to pull it out, but they're still playing lacrosse, right? And Tritt found Riggs, and that was a great shot.
And the other thing I noticed on the far side, one of the Providence players was in his defensive end and ran off. He thought he could substitute and just allowed extra numbers in the offense. One extra guy that the defense has to worry about. Just can't sub on defensive transition.
That's a no-no.
Really well executed by the Episcopal Eagles. Now, a nice face-off win. River Penland. Oh, what a nice job catching the ball by Lee Tritt. It was kind of not necessarily a buddy pass, but just he shielded it and caught it backhanded. It was just a little play that shows what a talent Lee Tritt is. And here comes Doda, shot, score. That went in. Yep, Doda by the goalie's ear. It bounced in the upper corner and fell straight down, but it did hit the net. Had a great angle on it, and Doda racking up points. What number is that for him, Jim?
That is number 4. And Episcopal is starting to feel it now. They're really taking and putting the pressure on the defense of Providence. And Providence is going to have to settle down here, otherwise this game is going to get out of hand.
5:20 to go in quarter number 3. My first time watching these two teams play this year. I watch a lot of lacrosse. It's just hard to get to see all of the teams. So what a great opportunity for the lacrosse fans and the sports fans in North Florida to see two really good programs, two good coaches, and Episcopal's got that arrow pointed up, and they've got their foot on the gas here in quarter number 3 at Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Around the right goal line extended, that's Riggs. Now he bounces it up to Tritt. Tritt looking for that backdoor sneak, but good defense. Time, space. Looks like they've got some new players. That's Dylan Hoosier. Just keep it in, son. Keep it in. Get away from the sideline. Doda's there to play some big boy lacrosse. Picks up the ball, races, weaving through traffic, running to space, swims back to the middle, dumps it off. Couldn't handle it. That was Trey Carter.
Yeah, I'd like to see Carter step to the ball instead of to the cage, and he would have increased his angle and he would have caught the ball. But there was a little bit of mismatch with Doda there on the sideline, and he just ran by everybody. He's an athlete.
So the 9th grader, Dylan Hoosier, out there. We all know his brother Jacob, who's out today, one of the top players in our area, top players in the state of Florida, but looks like he's got little brother out there representing Hoosier family. That's number 9, Dylan, freshman. Jim, we had mentioned it when we were off air, the private schools like Episcopal and Providence, you get to see those young guys play early, even some 8th graders, 7th graders, and it really bodes well for the future of both of these programs. I mean, how long have we been talking about Slagle at Providence?
Yeah, we have.
I think he was in 7th or 8th grade playing varsity.
Yeah, without a doubt. And just see him mature and get better every year. It's fun to watch.
That was a nice take by Russell Beard. Off the mark, though.
Providence is going to have to dig down here. They're getting a little tired. They've been playing a lot of defense this quarter, and their legs are starting to get a little weary right now.
Here comes Carter, trying to one-on-one dodge, working off that pick. He gets to the front, held up, shot. Oh, it just went wide, stays in bounds. Here's Tritt, pushing the left goal line, gets topside, and just wide again. Lots of shots, lots of opportunities.
And Elder's standing in there, and I don't know if he saw Carter's shot or not, but he's standing tall right now. It's fun to see.
So back behind the cage, it's Will Riggs to Hoosier. Back up top to Tiller. Across to Russell Beard. Lee Tritt rolls back to his right hand. Steps down, shot off the mark. Got to get him on cage, son.
Yeah, you do. But Tritt's a handful. He drew a shorty matchup, and he did what he's supposed to do, take advantage of it. Again, I just feel like Episcopal's trying to be too cute and hit the corner when you just have to hit the area where the goal's open.
What do you tell the kids? See net, hit net?
See net, hit net. Works every time.
Trey Carter drawing a lot of attention. Gets to the front. That's on cage, and that's a goal.
There you go.
Went 5-hole, got to the front. I say this over and over again, especially with the young players. Nobody's ever shot it under the cage. People shoot it over the cage all the time. If the kids can just understand that it's never going to go under the cage, it might go over the cage, bounce it at the goalie's ankles.
Yeah, and he got into the front of the cage, went 5-hole, and I think there's probably nobody happier than Coach Carter right now because at least his son has a goal.
We tell those kids we want to see that overhand hammer, the high to low, just like you're swinging a sledgehammer. Get your hands up high, drop it down low, and it's really hard for the goalie to adjust to the change of planes. They see the stick up high, and then the next thing you know, it's directed down low, and little ball moving at a high rate of speed, and the 6x6 goal, odds are in the shooter's favor. Face-off win for River Penland. He's done a nice job, Jim. I don't know if you're keeping the face-off stats there, but Penland.
He's taken a commanding lead now. He's won 10 out of 13 I have.
Lee Tritt directing traffic across to Tiller. Doda comes out of the substitution area. There's a couple of these kids like Doda and Tritt have probably run a couple miles tonight. Oh, nice left-handed sweep. Time, space, shot, and a score. Did not go under the cage. It went in the cage.
No, we talked about trying to play, overplay Beard's left hand. He's going all left, and sometimes, you got to try to just, force him to go right at some point to just stop his momentum. And
he's getting to the front.
He's getting to the front, and that's too easy.
He can sling it. He's got his hands nice and low on his stick, and he's reaching nice and high, torquing that back around, getting power, and just hammering it high to low again.
And he's only a 10th grader, so he's got a couple more years to play.
Keep an eye on him. We have a timeout on the field. There's 2:29 to go in quarter number 3. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Following that goal and timeout, it's a face-off. Our score is Episcopal 12, Providence 1. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Jim, I know every time I announce the score, I hesitate, and you give me this look because it's just hard to get used to when you've got two teams and the scoreboard says Bulldogs and Guest, and I'm looking and it's Episcopal and Providence, and I've been hitting the head a lot over the years, so just bear with me.
I know, but it's if it's a one-goal game, I'll bail you out. But it's this lopsided, it's pretty easy to tell.
We were talking off air what an entertaining game this is. It's a little bit lopsided, but just watching Episcopal, if they would just get their shots on cage, and the problem we talked about at the beginning of the game was the time of possession. It's not a stat you keep in lacrosse, but you certainly have a sense that, boy, there's been a lot of defense being played by the Providence Stallions.
Yeah, and you can tell all of a sudden they're a half a step late and they're a half a step behind. The slides are slower, and when Episcopal scored a lot of goals that quarter, and it's because they had the time of possession.
You look at guys like, we talk a lot about Lee Tritt and Ulian Doda, but you look at Beard and Tiller and Carter there's a lot of potential. Good ball movement right here by Providence, and just as I say that, they boot a pass, and Jablowski can't come up with it. And there's going to be a flag down. Delayed penalty called as Providence maintains possession. They're sure. Down low pass, feed to the crease. Shot deflected. That hit the post or the goalie?
Post.
Second flag down. So we've got two different penalties coming up. One on the near side that Mr. Pradella called, and then one on the far side. Locked in.
Illegal body check to the head and a slash.
So they're going to be two men down. I believe it was two different players. So Episcopal is going to have to scramble. And if Providence ever had a chance to get a good look at the cage, it's coming up. So I think I saw him signal 2 minutes on that penalty, but we're not sure. So there is some discretion, Jim, on those illegal body checks. So explain the discretion and what locked in means.
Well, usually if there's a hit to the head in high school, it's an automatic 2 minutes, and it's 2 minutes locked. And they could, if it's egregious, they could give it a 3-minute lock.
Okay, so locked in means if Providence were to score, normally the penalty would be released, but because of the severity and the shot to the head, when it's locked in, they have to serve the full time. They're lacrosse 101.
Right, and right now the initial penalty is not released, so Episcopal's 3-man down.
Wow, don't see this very often. And
you don't practice it very often either.
Well, you practice playing lacrosse, so the point is get in a spot to shoot because somebody's going to have a good shot.
Right. I was talking from a defensive perspective too, right? How do you rotate? How do you cover?
Yeah, the theory behind man down, we've got a timeout, but we'll stay with you here. The theory behind man down is you leave the guy who's the least threat open. So it's 6-on-3 right now, so if Providence were to play this right and they put 3 threatening players out there in shooting positions, it's just a matter of finding the open guy and connecting on the pass.
And for Episcopal, it is my goalie going to be able to make a save?
And the other thing is you want to get your defense to make sure the passing lanes are clogged up.
True. And it's, they're at a disadvantage, and like you said, you want to keep the shots coming from the outside. Hopefully your goalie is not moving. Hopefully you can see the ball and come up with a save.
You know, as a goalie, even I remember back in high school and being in these situations, I would tell my guys, just pack it in. Anything from 13 yards out, that's my fault. Okay, so just keep the passing lanes open and force the extra pass, because every time that ball moves from one player to another, it's a chance for it to hit the ground. So it's kind of fun, to be honest with you, when you're up and the game's not on the line and you get to just test yourself in this, very precarious situation. It's like, hey, I'm a goalie, you're a shooter, beat me.
And offensively, sometimes you have to forego an 8-yard shot so you can get a 2-yard shot, right? And so we'll see what kind of discipline Providence comes out with. They're down a bunch. I know they want to score early, especially with that 2-minute unreleasable penalty, but you still got to score that first goal and worry about the second one later.
So if you look at the defense, it's nice with the football yardage. You can tell where they're in right now. So the point man on the defense is there at 9 yards out. So we'll see how far they creep from that 9 yards. Nice tight triangle and force Providence to connect on a couple passes. What you don't want is number 8 on the crease, Carson Dunn, to be able to catch one and turn and shoot. So right now we do see Garrett Daniel creeping out a little bit. So keep an eye on that crease man, number 8. He's got to get his stick ready to catch and shoot.
I still want to put a guy behind. I always like coming. I know it's against the rules when you're 6-on-3, but
shot and a save, and that's the one. That's the shot you want to give up, and the goalie got tested, and Halsey passes the test. He just wants to go have some fun right now.
Yeah, he does.
Loose ball at midfield. So it's so disheartening when you're up 3 men and the goalie makes a save. It's a dagger.
Yeah, but like you mentioned, the defense gave a low-angle shot from the outside, and that's what they want to give up.
We haven't called J.P. Varela's name very often. They went off sides. It looks like 13's way back, but he said something. It looks like number 13, Will Riggs, unless it's from the bench. But Will Riggs was pleading his case that he was onside, but somebody's locked in for unsportsmanlike conduct. So
Yeah.
how many men down are they?
There's still 3, it looks like.
Okay,
It
so
looks
one
like-
had released.
Right.
Let your coach do the talking, and the referees are human too. When you make all of your shots and don't drop any passes and you're perfect, then if that ever happens, you can talk to the ref.
No one's ever played a perfect game.
Exactly, and the refs have never called a perfect game. So you're up big, and you just put your team in a bad position here. So they have too many men on the field right now.
Yeah, but the refs have to they got to set the field appropriately before they blow the whistle.
Actually, it looks like they've got 4 men.
Yeah, now it's released. One of them is.
Boy, they're pressing out 2 men down. When you've got a guy like Garrett Daniel who covers so much range. So let's see, we'll see the defense box it up. Rotate, kind of shift that box into a diamond. Want to cover the threats, and they're pressing out. They're almost 12 yards. They're 15 yards out playing man-down defense right now. Somebody's got to be open in the middle. Aggressive defense. Huber Matos. Look at that position by Matos. He's having fun right now playing man down, and they're going to run the quarter out and hold possession. No face-off if they hold possession here. So we are at the end of 3 quarters of play. With that penalty, Providence will come out of the break with possession and extra man opportunity. Our score
And that's the
is
end of the third quarter with your
Episcopal
score.
12, Providence 1. It's
Episcopal
Rivalry on the
12,
River, presented by
Providence
Covenant
1.
Roofing. Back to the action here at Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Good opportunity, shot, deflected. These defenders are just getting hit with shots. That time it was an attacking player. Jackson Sow got hit by his teammate.
Now we're back to all even. Penalties released.
Garrett Daniel likes to throw those checks. He is a talent. Can't connect on the pass. Can't pick up the ground ball. That was Daniel.
And Episcopal continues that, aggressive style of defense, just pressing out, 30, 40 yards out away from the cage.
And they did kill those penalties, so back to even strength. Big time penalty kill.
Drop the ball.
I thought that was a ball. I think
That's
it's
what I
a
did
pad
too.
or a mouth guard or
his-
something.
His butt end.
Did they call legal procedure on the equipment?
Yes.
Didn't know that was a thing.
That
Might have
was.
been a mouth guard.
Yep.
Playing without the mouth guard. Change in possession. Oh, they had that pass. Dota took his eye off of it, and it's a loose ball. He's fighting for it, though. He comes up with it. Watch him separate here. Shield, down low. Boy, that was a good look. Elder there to pick it up. Handling some pressure behind the cage as Carter's all over him. Nice ground ball. Blake Pierce back to Elder. Not much help. His defense isn't coming back to help him there. I can't find anybody open up near the midfield line, but you want to come back to your goalie. And there's Lee Tritt, bats it down. Empty net, shot and a score. Tritt's not going to get an easier one, but he worked for it.
Yeah, the Episcopal's playing hard both offensively and defensively, and they rode hard and it paid off.
That goal by Episcopal's number 2.
Gives us a
Lee
12-goal
Tritt.
margin in high school lacrosse. On the following face-off will be in running time, meaning if the ball goes out of bounds or any stops, the clock will continue to run. Change in the rules from previous years, where if the margin got back under the mark, it would go back to stop time, but it will be running time for the remainder of the game.
And the coach and me wanted to call a timeout and bail Elder out on that one, but I'm up here in the booth.
Another nice face-off win by Hooper. Shot off the mark. Might want to get some shooting practice in for the guys in white.
I would think that's going to be pretty important tomorrow.
They've got a game on Tuesday against Fleming Island. Feed to the crease. Nice cut. Long pole shot. Stuffed by the goalie. No soup for you. Chris Elder's just going to send it. Nice pass all the way down to the other end. But here comes Jackson Halsey. He's off to the races. Decides to dump it off. And Lee Tritt with a rare error. Empty net. Just off the mark. That was number 8. Carson Dunn tried a 40-yard shot.
I actually like that. Why not? The goalie's got his back to you. The cage is wide open. You just, again, we always talk about overhand. You can't shoot it underneath the goal. And he went sidearm.
You know who's thankful that one went wide? Lee Tritt, because he was wide open and just couldn't catch that pass.
Well, I was just going to say, there goes Lee Tritt's perfect game, too.
Yeah. Clock continues to run, approaching 9 minutes to go, 13-1. Episcopal on top of Providence. Get away from the sideline. Nice check. Good body check by Chappell. Oh, no, he gets shoved from behind. He might have had the ball.
Call timeout.
Okay, so the timeout before the push to save that possession. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Our score is Episcopal 13, Providence 1. It's quarter number 4, 8:25 to go in the game. Episcopal on top of Providence, 13-1. Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Follow me on Twitter at Lax904. I'm Ray Carnicelli, joined by Jim Applegate. Nice ground ball and clear, just can't make that next pass. It's been a challenge all day for Providence, connecting on passes. And there's Dota out there, still doing work, and he's got space. Low angle, dumps it back to the crease, behind the back, shot, and the score! Dota to Tritt with the behind the back finish, perfectly executed. Highlight film, da-da-dum, da-da-dum.
I kind of felt like I was playing a video game there with Dota, just running, recklessly through the middle of the field, down the right-hand alley, took his angle away, and he found Tritt right to the middle, and Tritt went behind the back for a beautiful goal.
Dota was almost behind the cage, and I wasn't sure who he was dumping it off to because Tritt was on the run, and his ability to catch that and flip it behind his back, streaking across the cage, what a beautiful finish.
And once again, the seniors have a big part of this game today, and you can really see how well they play together, and that familiarity of being with each other for 4 years really starting to pay off for Episcopal.
Yeah, when you look at Dota and Tritt, and so many of the seniors, the goalie, Halsey, and Varela.
Chappell, right? Parker, the mysterious number 14.
He's out there right now as John Pagic. Back to Tritt. Back to Chappell. He wants it. Shot, save. Picked back up by Pagic. Down low. Feed down crease. Shot. Carter's shot and a score for Carter. Boy, he's found his shooting touch right now, and I don't know if Dad told him shoot overhand because right now he's swinging that sledgehammer from high to low.
Yeah, he really did a good job posting up in the middle, and Chappell is he's experienced there, even with his long pole on the offense, and really a lot of patience, good vision, and found Carter right on the crease.
This combination at the face-off spot with Penland on the draw and Chappell on the wing has done a really nice job. $15-1 is our score. Running time. This time we've got Penland initially hung up, but he comes up with the ground ball. Now he boots it out of bounds, so it's going to be Providence win. Oh. I missed something there. We went back to Episcopal. I thought it went off of, unless they're doing alternating possession.
I have no idea.
Here comes Dota with a little swim. Hitch, showing all of his moves. Swims back to the middle, and the check came in right as he was releasing it.
Yeah, at some point he's got to watch out, though, because Providence, they're swinging their sticks, and someone's going to lay body pretty soon.
Yeah, he's running through a lot of traffic right now. 15-1 is our score. Lee Tritt. Back to Carter. Over to Beard. Beard sweeping left-handed. Locked, loaded, shot and a save. They're going to have a delayed pushing call on number 10. Yep. Russell Beard just kind of got in the back of the Providence player, and it was a delayed call, but ball will be awarded up to the Stallions. Racing across the midfield line with a head of steam, it's Pierce. He shoots from 15 yards and it's wide. No harm on that because the backup was in place.
Pierce had a full head of steam going downhill and just ripped the shot just wide.
Offsides.
No, he was.
But that was what the whistle was for.
Okay.
So it's going to be John Pagic. Runs into a double team. Smack into the double team. He's just got to get rid of the ball quicker. Carson Dunn.
Move to the middle.
Well, the point is play with your head up. Because if you look, he's got his head down right now. He's not going to know who's open.
I still like the fact that Providence is really playing tough and playing hard, and they haven't given up.
And they've got a lot of young guys out there.
It's so easy to give up in games like this, and the fact that they're competing for ground balls and still running up and down the field, it's a good testament to the Thesis program in the future.
15-1, Episcopal on top of Providence. They sail it away. Ball to the Eagles. Episcopal in white.
And I think Providence is going to be talking about how do we play when we're under pressure and under duress, because they're just I don't think they were expecting it today, and it really shows offensively.
So that was just a chuck it downfield, attempted clear, and here comes Newman. Shot wide, see if the goalie gets this.
Nope.
They're going to say that Dunn was closer. So Dunn's going to start behind the cage with the ball.
That's one where you might have got a personal foul on that one, arguing that you were closer.
Yeah, I would have got out the protractor and explained to the ref the angles. Here's Jablowski. Nice rollback, and off the top of his stick. It's going to be over and back unless Episcopal comes up with it. So it's going to be Episcopal ball. There it is. There's the over and back call. So Doda wants that quick restart. They've got to give him a little room.
They didn't give him 5 yards.
Yep, there's that flag. Doda, locked, loaded, had the goalie ducking and sails it over the goal. Overhand, hit the cage, high to low.
He wanted to highlight real goal and didn't get one.
I would settle for goal.
So in the game of lacrosse, they put the college rules in where they have fast restarts, and the defenseman has to be 5 yards away from the ball before they can engage the ball carrier, and that didn't happen in that play.
So is that a 30-second penalty for a delay of game?
30-second penalty.
Carter. Back to Tiller. Far side to Halsey. So even in a game like this, you want to work on your man up. You don't get a chance to go against an opponent very often to practice your man up play. So you want to make the most of it. There's shot, score, Doda padding the stats on the man up. But as I mentioned, you practice man up when you're in practice, but you're doing it against a team. Your teammates who kind of know what's coming.
Right.
I remember playing in college when we were playing really good teams and getting killed at the end of the game with superstars on the other team, and they would bring them back in at the end of the game. And it's like, it's just the way of the world. They want to practice.
You know what? I'm not going to say how many points I scored that way, but there was quite a few. There's nothing like coming out in the fourth quarter when you have a 10, 12 goal lead, and oh, guess what? We get to play man up again.
Yep. So you were on the good end of it. I was on the bad end of it.
Well, I played at Worcester, so we had the other opportunities too.
Contact at the midfield line.
Nice ground ball.
That was the freshman, Hoosier. He's got the ball. Nice pass to the middle to Carter, the freshman, and the pass gets deflected. So two freshmen out there. We're going to call their names a lot in the next few years, I promise you. Dylan Hoosier and Carter, Trey Carter.
Yeah, they have very good vision. They just physically, they're just a little bit outmatched right now.
Nice look upfield. Forces a pass down low, shot and a score. What a turn and what a catch. Will Riggs. Just a nice job. Jim, you talked about earlier moving to the ball, and we saw Riggs drift towards that pass, and just a really nice job catching and finishing.
Yeah, there's something to be said about putting the defender on your back and making the, creating space for your teammate to throw you the ball. That's exactly
That's the end of game one of Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing.
How many goals do we have for?
I have 5
for Dota,
5 for Dota, and 5 for Trit. So we're at BSN Sports Player of the Game.
How many for Carter?
Carter has 2.
If you can't stay,
Okay, so a great day for all of the players for Episcopal. We've got another matchup coming tonight. We've got Fleming Island and Bartram Trail. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Between games, we'll be back for the next game in Rivalry on the River, presented by Covenant Roofing. Our final score is Episcopal 16, Providence 1.